morning. I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela and we are the Castros.
Oh, so much to talk about, so much to unpack. Kaya let's get right to it. We're serving you today's headlines.
All that before your second cup of coffee. This is Brunch.
Now, on top of our headlines is about the Quadcom, the police colonel who accused two co-chairmen of the House Quad Committee of coercing him to testify about the existence of the so-called reward system was once again cited in contempt. Here's the report.
Police Colonel Hector Grialdo appeared at the resumption of the House Quad Committee hearing on drug war-related deaths. He had previously accused Representatives Dan Fernandez and Benny Abante of pressuring him to admit to the existence of a reward system during the Duterte administration. Abante and Fernandez volunteered to serve as resource persons in Tuesday's hearing to ensure fairness in the investigation. Grijaldo, however, repeatedly avoided answering questions.
Your Honor, I would stand by my statement. I invoke my right for self-incrimination.
I don't think it's incriminating because number one, sinumpang salaysay niya po ito eh. Pirmado niya po ito eh.
This led to a stern reprimand from lawmakers.
Matapang ka lang doon sa Senado kasi may kakampi ka. Dito ka magpakita ng tapang mo.
His participation in that Senate inquiry was merely to besmirch the reputation of some of the chairmen here.
You're just telling me your ignorance of the law. Tell me if you have a criminal case against you regarding this issue. Galing ako sa serbisyo, iho, pero nakakahiya ka.
The Quadcom offered Grijaldo an executive session to detail his Senate testimony, but he declined. Due to his repeated refusal to answer, he was cited in contempt again. Meanwhile, Abante and Fernandez denied Grijaldo's allegations, maintaining that they never coerced him to testify.
Napakaliit po ng kwarto at sa labas po ng kwarto, marami pong mga tao nandun. So kung nagkaroon po ng coercion, nagkaroon po ng harassment, nagkaroon po ng forceful force galing po sa amin, I think malalaman po ng mga taong nandyan. Makikita po natin na yung itsura niya, hindi naman po siya mukhang na-coerce. Mukhang masayang-masaya pa nga po siya.
Normal naman yung vetting na ginagawa natin, kinakausap natin. So, we talked to him and sinabi ko kay Colonel Garma, can he corroborate your statement? Ang sabi ni Colonel Garma, yes eh. So, kinausap namin.
For News 5, I'm Marian Enriquez. We are One News.
Now to get more updates, we are joined by Representative Ace Barber, Chairman of Quadcom. Good morning, Kong. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, good morning, Angela, and magandang umaga po sa ating mga kababayan.
Kong, sige tanong lang po namin, nasaan po ba ngayon si Grijaldo after the committee hearing?
Yeah, he's presently detained ngayon sa House Detention Facility, and we are coordinating with the Quezon City Police as to his transfer, no? Kasi ililipat siya today doon sa designated detention facility that was approved by the committee last night.
Yes, Kong, this is Angelo po, no? Ang question kasi dito is paano kung patuloy po mag-refuse si Grijaldo? I mean, sumagot or magmatigas sa mga tanong ng committee. What then are we going to do? Anong recourse natin?
Well, karapatan niya yun, no? Gaya nga ng ginagawa niya kahapon, no? Na sinasabi niya that I invoke my right against self-incrimination, which to the committee is not a proper motion or not a proper response, no, or reply to the question. Kasi wala naman siyang kaso eh. In fact, the questions that were asked of him ay questions related sa kanyang statement sa Senado.
Yes.
Kino-confirm lang natin. Pero ayaw niya mag-cooperate to us, no, to the committee. This is a manifestation of disrespect and uncooperative si Grijaldo dito. So, under our rules, meron kaming mga penalty that we can impose to those resource persons or witnesses who will not cooperate. So, kaya nga na-contempt namin siya.
Yes.
So, ako, para sa akin, Angelo, obvious na sinungaling di ba? Kasi bakit ayaw mong sagutin yung tanong, kino-confirm lang naman yung mga sinabi mo.
Correct.
Ibig sabihin yun, takot siya na mabubuking siya because he perjured himself perhaps in the Senate, no? And we will look into kung ano ba yung pwedeng makita na violation na ginawa niya. Kasi he did not just besmirch the members of the Quad Committee, more so the chairman, no, in dalawang chairman, but he attempted, no, to discredit,
Yes.
or if not discredit, to malign, no, the integrity of the committee. Gagaya nga sinabi ko kagabi, this is a constitutional body, no?
Yes.
Meaning it was allowed and the Constitution granted the Congress the power to create such committee.
Kong, I'd like to touch up on that a little kasi you mentioned the word he besmirched the reputation of the committee. So ano po ang recourse natin legally, especially kay Congressman Abante at Fernandez at sa committee as a whole, no, with regards to possibly filing cases dito kay Grijaldo? And of course, the testimony came from the Senate under kay, I think it was Senator Bato. So ano po ang extent ng connection ni Grijaldo kay Bato with regards to the statement he gave?
Well, yung anong aksyon ng dalawang chairman namin, si Congressman Fernandez at si Congressman Abante, ay will by and large depend on their decision. Kung ano yung kanilang gustong aksyon. Hindi naman namin napapag-usapan yan. At sanay naman, I believe, sanay naman yung dalawang kasamahan namin, no, sa mga ganyang mga situations na kung saan people are, especially political opponents, are attempting to besmirch their reputation. Pero ang ano kasi dito, klarong-klaro na yung ginagawa ng Grijaldo, may nagtuturo, no? May nagsasabi because the fact that he did not know when to use the phrase right against self-incrimination is an indication na may nagtuturo sa kanyang hindi siya natuturuan ng tamang tamang rason.
Kung I believe this is your fourth hearing na po, no, regarding this yung Quadcom na ginagawa po ninyo. I was wondering what else are we going to be expecting from this hearing, and sino pa po ba yung mga resource persons that we will be seeing in the next hearings?
Well, hopefully, no, those that have manifested before the committee their intention to speak out, sana matuloy, no? Kami naman kasi lahat ng gustong magsalita at lumapit sa amin, may mga requirements din naman kaming hinihingi, no?
Right.
Kagaya ng meron dapat silang sinumpaang salaysay at they should pass the vetting process na gagawin ng aming legal team, no? Kasama na diyan yung ating mga chairman. So, as to up to when and as to what to expect, we're still expecting to produce more proposed legislation. Siguro before, after we terminate these hearings. Meron pa kasing mga areas that we must look into. Halimbawa, yung dun sa forensic information that was shared to us by Dr. Fortune, I think we really have to look into that, no, para makatulong sa crime solution. So marami pa, no? Marami pang nakikita kami na dapat sigurong matouch din namin.
Kung ano po yung stand nyo with regards to sinasabi po ng iba na maybe we need to strengthen yung internal affairs service natin, na i-detach na rin daw po sa PNP chief, follow daw natin yung modelo sa US. Ano po ang stand nyo dito, Kong?
Yan ang aming nirekomenda nung last December when we submitted our progress report. No? We recommended as a product of the 13 hearings that the Quadcom had, no, nakita natin na ang IAS must be independent and should not be part of the organization of the Philippine National Police, no? So yun ang isa sa aming recommendation, and pabor kami dyan.
Okay.
Can you also enlighten us, Kong, kasi nabanggit nyo kanina na you are coordinating with the Station 6 sa Quezon City to transfer Grijaldo para sa kanyang assigned detention. Kanina nabanggit nyo po wala naman siyang kaso. Why is it po doon yung inassign po ninyo na detention cell, not in the House of Representatives?
Okay, nandyan siya kasi sa house no? And I really don't have any idea at the moment except that we were told na merong repairs and pest control na gagawin yata dyan sa... I'm not really sure about that, no? But of course, there is a motion, and the motion was approved by the members present constituting a quorum that expresses the sense and the decision of the committee. So kung saan siya ilagay, although this is allowed naman under our rules, no? Kasi there was a time na wala naman talagang detention facility ang Senate at ang House. So ngayon, that was included in the rules of the House na we can identify where and which detention facility our witnesses who were subjected to contempt by the committee will be temporarily be detained.
Kung last na po before we let you go, taking this opportunity na rin to ask about Royina Garma. She's still in the US. Ano na pong update sa kanya? If you have any information.
That's a good question. That's a good question, Angela. Hinihintay din namin yung update. So far, wala pa kaming nakukuhang update. And the NBI and the DOJ are the ones closely coordinating with the US.
Okay. Sige po. For the meantime, we're gonna let you go. Pero hopefully we can still have you on the show. Sana po dito sa studio na rin para mas maganda po yung usapan natin. For the meantime, maraming salamat po. Yes po. Maraming salamat po
sure.
sa inyong oras.
Salamat din. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Yan,
That was Congressman
Ace Barber sa Quadcom Committee.
Siya ang lead chair dyan sa Quadcom.
Natuwa ako sa mention ng yung recommendation ng December sa IAS na i-separate sa PNP. Matagal ko nang inaano yun I mean, I was trying to talk about it.
Dapat kasi independent body siya.
Because we're not saying
ang boss mo yung PNP chief.
We're not saying na corruptible ang PNP. But of course, usually kasi the PNP chief stands by his men as much as possible, ha. So having a separate law enforcement that governs over the puts your officers on their toes. Parang I have to do good. I have to follow procedure.
Kasi wala akong boss na parang ang weird kasi boss mo pa rin yung PNP chief. Pero kasi they already submitted nga yung kanilang progress report because they've done 13 hearings already. This is the 14th. So before the break, they submitted nga itong progress report, di ba, yung mga recommendations sa
isa pang recommendation pala na nagustuhan ko yung sa yung forensics.
Okay,
yung recommendations in Fortune. It's about time na we should have a ka-level.
Siya lang mag-isa.
And she is I think she's not government pa. She's UP, di ba? UP siya. So we should have a forensic team that's very strong and sana kung mabayaran natin si Ma'am Fortune sayang she's one of our best here. She's the only one. Diba? Ayun. So we're waiting for the other recommendations once the Squadcom is terminated finally. Malapit na rin kasi ang election period. I mean, it's campaign period pala, election period na.
Alright. This time around, Senator Raffy Tulfo wants a total ban on the deployment of OFWs in Kuwait. Now, Tulfo cited incidents of abuse in the Gulf state due to unpenalized Kuwaiti employers. He questioned why the government keeps on sending OFWs to Kuwait despite the risk they face.
Are we people? A nation of stupid people sending our workers to the lion's den in Kuwait? Ang problema ay doon sa employer. We're not the problem. The problem is Kuwait. The problem is the government of Kuwait not doing enough.
Now, the Philippines imposed a deployment ban on new hires in Kuwait, but it was lifted last year. Migrant Workers Secretary Hans Gakdak said the OFWs were given briefings and ensured of necessary assistance.
Bago pa man umalis yung OFW, malinaw na kung saan siya pupunta, sinong employer, sinong qualification ng employer, ano yung job description niya roon sa employer na yun, ilan ang tao doon sa household, gaano kalaki yung etc. All these things will come to the fore, Mr. Chair. Sa tingin ko, yun yung malaking gap.
Right.
You know,
di ba lagi natin pinag-uusapan yan dito?
I share the sentiment and the frustration of Senator Tulfo. It's because we also have a family member of ours at kasambahay din natin.
Naging kasambahay.
Na sa Kuwait, and twice pumunta ng Kuwait, and each time na nandun siya, humingi ng tulong sa atin because there was some sort of, not really as harsh as the others, but some sort of maltreatment towards her by her employers. Kasi yung the Kuwaiti people, the way they treat our Filipino workers there, parang ownership. Ownership, di ba? Yung mga ibang Arab countries, nag-update na, they're a little bit more modern. Like Saudi Arabia, you have UAE, di ba? Medyo modern na sila. They're not like that anymore. But paulit-ulit tayo nagkaka-issue sa Kuwait. Non-stop issues.
And then we still give them, di ba? We'll still give them our OFWs. And yun nga, di ba? Kasi the last time, last year, di ba? Only last year lang nagkaroon tayo ng issue dyan na matay yung nakuha sa desert. And then this year naman yung sa backyard nung amo. Di ba? 2 Pinoy na namatay. Tapos itong isa na yung inuwi na cadaver dito, tapos mali pala. Ang cause of death, pag-usapan natin yan dito, is supposedly suffocation. Pero ang tinitingnan nilang angulo din dyan ng DMW is baka may kapabayaan din on the employer side. Plus nakita nung mga family members nung dumating yung cadaver dito, may mga pasasa, iba't ibang parte ng katawan.
Sa joint din ng paa.
Diba? So sabi nga nila, hindi lang suffocation to kung may mga marka ng ganyan, diba?
Tsaka alam mo kasi, ang nangyayari dito is, sige, we understand na kailangan mong kumita. And Kuwait, may daming opportunity doon. But the problem is, sana maalala din ng mga kababayan natin that every Filipino OFW that has to be rescued by the government entails a lot of resources. Sana itong pera na ito na nagagamit natin, repatriation, or, di ba, magagamit sa ibang paraan to better services for OFWs. Nangyayari, hindi. Ang pinaka-worst pa nangyayari pag umuwi ang mga kababayan natin in a coffin. Isipin na lang nila yung how that makes their families feel. Kaya siguro, pag hindi na lang ganun kalaki naman ng sweldo, I mean, kung nakikita ko yung sweldo sa Kuwait, kasi minsan nakikita ko, hindi man siya nagkakalayo sa sweldo sa Hong Kong diba? Parang choose na lang an Asian country na maganda-ganda ang record.
Kaya nga, di ba sinasabi natin na sana nga mas maraming opportunity dito para hindi napupunta sa mga bansang katulad niyan yung ating mga OFW na, di ba, nagigipit sila. Na-lift yung ban, pero di ba napag-usapan pa noon, bawal na yung kinukuha ng amo yung cellphone. Bawal na rin yung passport. Dapat
bawal
binibigay yung mismo.
Kinukulong sa room after work hour. Dapat may day off.
Okay naman sila, kaya na-lift yung deployment ban. Pero ito kasi sunod-sunod na naman yung mga insidente natin doon. Alright?
Okay, sige. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, has suspended the reprinting of official ballots for the 2025 midterm elections. This is after the Supreme Court issued additional temporary restraining orders against disqualifications of Francis Leo Marcos and Noel Rosal.
Mukhang hindi na namin kayang maipangako yung April 14 natin na matatapos ang printing. Sana kung magkaroon man ng adjustment, wag naman sanang lalampas na mga April 20 yung printing natin. Kasi ang pinakamahirap talaga po ay yung deployment.
Now, the poll body admitted that the delay is a setback in their preparations. However, they assured that despite the holdups, the elections will proceed as scheduled on May 12.
Kami ay naapektuhan lang talaga ng mabigat kapag kami national candidate sapagkat kinakailangan talagang baguhin ang lahat na naimprenta na balota.
Right. Yun kasi ba na-guess na natin dito yung si spokesperson Rex Audianco ng COMELEC. Saying na hindi lang kasi printing of ballots yung naantala, naging chain reaction siya. Even yung mock elections that is scheduled already, hindi nila magawa until updated yung ballot. And they have to update it doon sa kanilang electoral management system.
Yung isang doon, yung binanggit nila, si Francis Leo Marcos. Very controversial figure yan. He's a social media personality. That's not his real name.
Oo nga daw
He claims to be the son of the late President, former yung Ferdinand Marcos Sr. And he's running under the Marcos name. Hopefully, he's trying to get the Marcos brand under his name. Madami na siyang issue na NBI na yan dati.
Yes, I know, I heard.
Na NBI. Plus, ano pa yan, siya yung kumukontra kay Diwata. Sabi niya, mamimigay daw siya ng pares sa lahat ng Pilipino libre. Tapos sa social media, lagi nagpa-flash ng pera yan. So, kaya siya na-tag ng Comelec.
Na nuisance.
nuisance candidate.
Pero dahil nga demokrasya tayo, nag-file sila ng appeal.
Sunod-sunod ang TRO.
Ng TRO. Di ba that's what we talked about
Yes.
with Attorney Rex, di ba? What happens now, you're starting, di ba? They've already started the printing of ballots. And what if in the middle of your printing ng ballot, biglang may desisyon ng Korte Suprema?
Actually, yung machines daw ngayon may ad feature. Di ba? So hindi dati kasi walang ad feature. So if ever may nangyari kailangan idagdag, pwede na.
Alright, sige. Pero tuloy pa rin daw yung election natin ng May. Dapat lang, di ba? Coming up, military officials suspect that a foreign power could be mapping out the Philippines following the arrest of an alleged Chinese spy.
And the Senate panel is set to launch an inquiry into the implementation of sex education amid concerns from conservative quarters.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. Good morning. You're still watching Brunch here on One News, and we're still the Castros, last time I checked.
I
Pero
hope
ito
so.
muna, batiin ko lang itong mga nasa Facebook natin. Ang dami niyo po, hindi ko na po kayo maisa-isa, but thank you so much for watching today at napaaga po kayo ng gising at kami po ay inyong pinanood. Si Migs Ebron, yung mga usual natin, sila Sam Pokemon Go, si Gary Field, si Ralph Domingo, Alex Fuentes, Amina Beñales.
Balita ko may mga high blood tayo sa
Si Beng Tan Guerrero, hi Miss Beng, nanonood din siya sa
Boy,
atin.
si Beng, alam mo si Beng, ano yan, may mga Bengal cats yan.
Beng with Bengal cats.
Beng with Bengal cats.
Tita Daisy, Tito Naldi, and Kuya Jopet from Antipolo, of course, nanonood sila from Antipolo nga. Tapos, eto si Ronald Maxte, Elmo Cardenas, Summer Cabrera, si Summer from Mandaluyong. Tapos si Mirna Almaria of Pasig, yan. At saka si Elmo Cardenas naman sa Montalban, Rizal. Yun.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning po. Alright, military officials suspect that foreign agents are working to create a blueprint of key locations in the Philippines. Now here's the report.
The armed forces has expressed concern over the arrest of an alleged Chinese spy in the Philippines. The AFP said this matter should be taken seriously as the suspect may have conducted surveillance on EDCA sites and other military bases.
Consider this as an issue of concern, considering that critical infrastructures and of course even our military camps and our PNP camps are part of this. So this is national security concern and we're really looking intently on this.
Authorities added that a certain foreign power may already be doing a wide-scale espionage activity. This also comes after underwater surveillance drones were found in our waters.
If we connect the dots, we don't have to look far, that there seems to be an orchestrated move by a foreign power to gather critical information in the maritime domain and on critical government infrastructures. We started realizing that these incidents do not happen in isolation.
The National Security Council said there are persistent threats posed by foreign interference. With this, it called on Congress to strengthen our Espionage Act and pass a counter-interference bill. Mobile journalist Mary Monreyes, we are One News.
Let's get more details on that issue.
We have AP spokesperson Colonel Francel Padilla joining us via Zoom. Good morning po. Thanks for joining us
Colonel.
again.
Thank you for joining us.
Good morning po, sir. Good morning, ma'am. And maganda umaga po sa inyong mga taga-subaybay.
Yes, Colonel, medyo nakakabahala yung, seeing the videos pa and the news items, all the items that they have and how advanced they are already in the way they are doing their surveillance. Meron ba tayong idea ano yung extent nito, Colonel? Ilan sila? Is there a local backer behind them? The mere fact na may mga gamit sila, where do they purchase it? Paano nakapasok? Ang daming questions po.
Yes, sir, no? Lahat nga po ito, tinitingnan po natin, being the Armed Forces of the Philippines is concerned with national security. So ito po, sir, we took a step back, look at the bigger picture and connected the dots. So we're really at this like a puzzle pieces po, no, from different sectors, iba't iba pong mga activities that are being conducted and how they connect to one another. So ang maganda po nating note dito, that as the AFP transitions to facing modern security challenges, ito po nga pagbago natin ng organization natin accordingly to create our intelligence command as well as creating the cyber command na address ito as evidence po dito sa ating nga po nga nasa kote na miyembro po nitong na Chinese national po na may ganito pong activities.
Okay. Colonel, do we have any other information to kasi meron po tayo dito, no, nakikita na dati daw po siyang nag-graduate siya sa People's Liberation Army University of the Science and Technology sa China, and he's here in the Philippines. He's been in the Philippines for about 5 years old. So aside from that, ano pa po ba yung mga background natin na nakita regarding this Chinese national?
Ang note po natin ng ating intelligence operatives na ito po nga si Deng nga po, no? At ano po, no? He is into a network of financiers. Ito po nga technical experts na Chinese nationals din. And meron din po siyang mga support personnel. So notably po, ito nga si Deng has been in the Philippines for over 10 years na po. He is married to a Filipina and he has been able to establish businesses here in the Philippines. And these same businesses po are the ones that are being used as fronts to receive large amounts of funds to enable these illicit activities.
Yeah, Colonel, you mentioned kanina na you're taking a step back approach and then trying to connect the dots. May possible link po ba ito sa Pogo? Because I remember in one of the raids of PAOK, may mga uniforms po ng PLA doon, may mga AK-47, mga ibang weapons that are linked to the PLA. So are you taking a look at this possibility?
Yes or no? We're taking a look at all of the possible scenarios to this. Lahat po ng mga different incidents na mga that we have gathered throughout the different mga iba't ibang pangyayari, iba't ibang reports po na nakakalap natin. Lahat po ito ay kinoconnect natin to one another and looking at the picture of this being a part of a grand plan. And so the AFP po is closely working with the NBI and other experts as well to conduct further investigations into these operations and as we ensure po our territorial integrity and national security po of our country.
Okay. Ito pong sinasabi na, kasi group of 5 daw po itong sila Deng na Chinese national and meron daw po siyang kasama dito na financier na currently in China. Meron na po ba siyang mga nasabi na tungkol dito and other transactions na talagang kumukonect sa China that can we say na ang China involved na foreign power dito and not other nations?
Ang masasabi po natin dito, ma'am, that this recent incident is not an isolated case, but it is part of a larger strategy that actually challenges our sovereignty and our security in general. So it is crucial po to view these actions as interconnected elements of a broader plan which is designed to sadly undermine our nation. So tinitingnan po natin nga itong lahat ng ito and ito po ay an open investigation pa po at this point in time and respectfully po this is the lead in this case is the NBI. So ito pong result ng investigations, we leave it po to the NBI to give you po the details of the case.
Alright. Also, ano pa po ba, kasi doon po sa mga report, yung mga nakita po, yung mga na-confiscate sa kanya, allegedly na mga kagamitan, ay hindi naman daw po ganun ka-high-tech. Can you tell us more about it? And ano po ba yung mga possibilities na po pwedeng nagawa na using those equipment that were seized from this suspect?
Ang ano natin dito, ma'am, is not to undermine any report. So wag po nating maliitin ang anything that we see and kasi ito po ang magiging loophole natin pagka po magiging complacent tayo. To be an effective security po, we have to have that level of paranoia para po talagang maging more detailed po tayo in this. So wag po nating maliitin na sinasabing ganito lang siya or anything to that effect, But considering po that these are high precision topographic mapping and 3D modeling po, and ito pong mga kinuha niya pong mga data involves critical infrastructures, strategic areas, and includes PNP camps, military camps, ports, and even malls, na alam niyo naman po ang mga kababayan natin talaga pong they frequent mall goers tayo, and even our communications grid, our energy grids and major seaports and airports, So hindi po ito basta-basta lang. So wag po natin na maliitin. Bagkus po, magtulungan po tayo as a nation. This is actually supposedly a uniting factor for us because security is everyone's responsibility.
Yes, Colonel, last, Diego, tanong ko lang to. Dun sa mga nakumpiska daw po doon na kagamitan, this one can siphon off data without going inside the facilities and without getting hold of targeted devices. So, meron, upon your investigation and with collaboration with NBI, meron na po ba tayong update kung which area yung nakuhanan ng information and what information yung mga nakuha?
Yes, ma'am, ito nga po ay high precision topographic mapping and 3D modeling. So, hindi nila kailangan pumasok to any certain facility. Just circling about the area can give them a map, a 3D map of high ground, low ground, and everything po, So, for whatever reason, we cannot speculate kung saan po ito gagamitin, but being critical infrastructures nga po and frequent frequent na matataong lugar po itong mga nakuhang detalye, talaga pong tinututukan natin to and giving very very detailed attention on the purpose of this. But the forensics po as to lahat ito and the list of that, this will be given by NBI accordingly po.
Okay, Colonel, before we let you go, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask also about yung given meron tayong mga ganito pangyayari, and I'm sure hindi lang po against sa China po ang nakikita, minamataan natin, may mga ibang countries tayong tinitignan. Ano po ang ginagawa po ng AFT to strengthen po our intelligence gathering dito sa Pilipinas?
Ito nga po, sir, So nakita po natin talaga pong binago natin yung organization natin to address contemporary modern challenges. So we created the Intelligence Command and we also created the Cyber Command para po talagang matutukan natin to. And ebidensya nga po ito na nahuli po natin ito. That goes to show that our systems are in place and our systems are working. But of course, the AFP cannot do this alone. That's why we're working with different agencies of the government po. Nakikipagtulungan po tayo dyan. And ang sabi nga po natin, as security is everyone's responsibility, we have to work together po, no, to increase the risk and put ourselves po and our communities not to put ourselves and our communities in greater danger. So nakikipagtulungan din po sana ang bawat mamamayang Pilipino po, no, na maging mapanuri tayo and report po, no, to the nearest AFP unit or enforcement unit kung meron po silang nakikita na kahinahinala. Ganyan po sa mga karagatan at pati din po sa ano po, no, dito po sa different salient facilities.
Colonel, sorry, before we let you go talaga, you said pwede mag-report ang if there are suspicious activities. Ano po dapat gawin ng isang citizen if I doubt na may duda ako sa mga nakikita ko sa isang area ko, may it be the subdivision, the condominium. How do we go about this? Kasi medyo maselan po ito, masyado sa safety ng mga kababayan natin.
So open po tayo, no? We can report to the nearest law enforcement na facility. Meron po tayong mga marami kalat naman po yung ating mga PNP po na mga mga stations, kahit po AFP units, kahit ipag-apalam mo po sa ating mga tropa po na naka-detailed sa ating mga checkpoints and ating mga gates and pag-alam lang din po sa amin and rest assured po that actionan po namin itong mga to and titignan po natin ang veracity of these reports and work on it accordingly po. Over and above that, sir, ihabol ko lang po sana, no? We'd like to reinforce din po sana itong statement po ng ating National Security Administration po, no? That there's really a need po to pass the new anti-espionage law and the new foreign interference law. Malaking tulong din po ito, no, para meron din po tayong overarching po, no, na such a foundation to really work with on this.
All right, thank you for that. AFP spokesperson Colonel Francel Padilla. Pleasure to have you again, Colonel.
Maraming salamat po and magandang tanghali.
Ayun, medyo concerning talaga yung mga ganitong issues. Pero year-round naman the AFP is very active in intelligence gathering and things like that. It's just that ito talagang nahuli na talaga. May gamit pa sa kotse. Tapos if you see the video sa taas ng car niya, may parang camera na nakamount. Oo.
Pero ang tawag nila dito, sleeper agent, no? Kasi parang after 5 years lang nila. He's been here for 5 years.
Usually mga sleeper cell yan, they embed you into a country, they have you live a normal life, and when you're needed, they will call upon you.
All right. President Bongbong Marcos congratulates U.S. President Donald Trump following the latter's inauguration. In a social media post, Marcos said he looks forward to working closely with Trump's administration. He added that the alliance of the two nations will continue to uphold their shared vision of prosperity and security. Trump was sworn in again as U.S. President after he has survived impeachment trial and assassination attempts.
President Trump has hit the ground running now with several EOs, true to his word. Sabi niya, day one pa lang, makikita niyo na mararamdaman niyo na ang this presidency.
Parang one of the, I don't know lang, I'm not sure kung ano yung EO na sinayna niya, na may video siya, sabi niya, will Biden do this? May ganun pa siya pagka-sign niya.
And his pens he tossed the pens he used for EOs, pinamigay niya sa public. Kasi they're going to start to, may value pala yung mga pen na yan, mga first EOs of this Trump 2.0. May value.
It's a tradition. It's
tradition.
not just him.
I'm saying, may value tong pen. So, yung mga collectors talagang inabangan yan.
What I want to know is, ano kaya yung laman ng letter ni Biden to President Donald Trump? Kasi it's a tradition Diba yung presidente?
Usually that's just cordial letters.
Kasi the last time I remember kasi nung si Trump pinagbigay ng letter kay Biden didn't share it. Sabi lang, it was personal. I won't share it. Parang something like that.
That's just the tradition lang naman yan.
Okay.
All right. President Bongbong Marcos has instructed the Department of Budget and Management to restore the PNP's IT program budget to its original amount and remove the additional 500 million pesos allocated for the Intelligence Fund. Mobile Journal, Julie Baiza has the report.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has ordered a reversion of budget cuts and the removal of inserted intelligence funds to the Philippine National Police. The ALG Secretary John Vic Remulla said that the various PNP IT projects incurred significant budget cuts under the 2025 General Appropriations Act. while an additional 500 million pesos was added to the PNP's intelligence fund.
So, as instructed by the President sa ating Budget Secretary, ay i-revert ang budget ng IT at tatanggalin yung additional 500 million pesos intelligence fund na nilagay sa GAA. So, return to original budget ng 820 million yata ang nasa PNP, naging 1.3 billion, ibabalik na naman sa dati siya.
The fund will be reallocated to support the integration and enhancement of the 911 emergency hotline system. Remulla added that they don't have any knowledge on the budget realignment.
Hindi namin alam. Ang alam na namin, specific siya pumunta sa all-terrain amphibious vehicles for Region 5. Ayun ang pinaka-glaring na nangyari. Yung 500 million additional intelligence fund, hindi namin alam. Yun na lang sinabit ng GAA sa amin. So, we don't know kung sino naglagay.
The DILG chief also explained that the Department of Budget and Management will be the one to reprogram the budget. He also cited that based on PBBM's veto message, they can realign the budget.
So therefore, considering that such increases in appropriations and new budgetary items will have corresponding effects on the outputs and outcomes of the agencies concerned, the DBM shall inform the said agencies of the changes in their respective appropriations and require the submission of their revised performance targets. So, in that language, pwede talagang i-veto ng Presidente on a line item basis.
Meanwhile, Remulla said that the President is inclined to extend the term of PNP Chief Police General Romel Marbil due to stability. Marbil is set to retire on February 7 upon reaching the mandatory retirement age of 56. Mobile journalist Julie Baiza, We Are One News.
Now, Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla questioned the effectiveness of the SIM Card Registration Act as POGO-related scams persist. In a press conference, Remulla disclosed that 60% of calls to the 911 emergency hotline were prank calls. He highlighted the difficulty in tracing prank callers due to the lack of integration between the SIM Card Registration Act and the National ID system. Republic Act 11934, or the SIM Card Registration Act, was enacted to combat text scams and other crimes by requiring the registration of SIM cards. However, in June 2024, the National Telecommunications Commission admitted that the law is not a silver bullet against scams and continues to face implementation challenges.
All right, don't go away because we're not done yet. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Brunch here on the One News. Dami na natin pinag-usapan topics for today. No? We started off our newscast with Congressman Ace Barber talks about yung mga possible na pagka-terminate nitong hearing, ano yung mga bills na pwede nilang bagong bills na introduce o i-re-amend. Aside from that, ano pa yung pinag-usapan natin? Yung spice. Paglaganap ng pag-ispiya dito sa Pilipinas.
Batiin ko lang si Ma'am Menchi Silvestre nanonood sa atin. At saka, of course, si DJ, si Ate Linggo, yan nanonood.
Oo, tsaka yung mga viewers natin sa Facebook and YouTube, medyo high blood sila ngayon. Kay Ray Jose, hello. Kay Monique,
Of course, we also talked about the yung delay sa Congress, sa COMELEC. Diba? Bumabati ka ba?
Sige. Let's start off our newscast again.
Okay, let's circle back to the story of a foreign power possibly mapping out the country.
Navy spokesperson Rear Admiral Roy Trinidad is now on the line. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, we'll try to get him back again on the line. Medyo nagkaroon tayo ng technical difficulty.
Si Rear Admiral ba?
Yes,
Roy Trinidad.
Kasi tulong-tulong sila dyan. NBI, AFP, at saka Navy natin. All right. The Senate will conduct an inquiry into the implementation of sexual education. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian's Committee on Basic Education will lead the hearings. This comes on the heels criticisms on the Prevention of Adolescent Pregnant Act of 2023, with some saying that it poses a significant threat to the country's moral and spiritual foundations. Author Senator Risa Ontiveros refuted some circulating lies surrounding the legislation. For one, she said it contains no provisions seeking to encourage masturbation among children. Okay, so isa din issue yan, hot topic din yan kasi there were messages and videos that were circulating via social media apps stating nga na may mga ganitong klaseng words doon na provisions sa mismong bill. But if you go to the website of the Senate to check on the bill, wala naman.
Actually,
to be fair, walang nakalagay doon.
Actually, kasi ano nangyari ata kasi is the word international standards, according to former Chief Justice Sereno, was put there. Now, if you look at the international standards, WHO and UN, mga charter nila, the word masturbation was there.
Wala sa international.
Not sa atin.
No. Even in national,
they're saying
even in international regulation, wala
Can I
doon.
imply? They're saying that these international standards are allowing or encouraging children to explore sexuality, one of which is masturbation. Hindi naman directly sabihin, can I finish? Hindi naman nila sasabihin, do this Sinasabi lang nila, it encourages sexuality at a young age, at a very young age. Ang sinasabi ni PBBM, why don't we leave it to the parents to educate their children on sexuality? Why does it have to be intervened at the school
doon lang
level?
ako sa nakita ko na mga na documents when I visited the website of senate.gov.ph and to check yung bill na yon, nakalagay nga doon international standard, kaya yun yung nila kino-question nila, pero it says there pa rin according pa rin sa culture, sa religion ng bansa natin. At saka age-appropriate yung ituturo sa mga
Basta ang
bata.
sinabi kasi ng grupo nila, CJ, they wanna strike out
No,
that
because ang sinasabi kasi nila, yung pinapakalap, baka mali yung version na nila, nababasa.
Sinasabi ko nga na walang word masturbation sa version natin. Ang inaano nila is strike out the word according to international standards from the Philippine version.
Alright, let's circle back to the story of a foreign power possibly mapping out the country.
We have with us Navy spokesperson Rear Admiral Roy Trinidad on the line. Rear Admiral, thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning, Diego, and good morning, Angela. At sa mga taga-subaybay ninyo, magandang umaga sa ating lahat.
Yes, sir. Ano po ba, sa part po ng Navy, ano po ba yung implication nitong umano'y mapping ng isang foreign power?
Yes, actually, Angela, this already goes beyond the Philippine Navy. This already concerns all of the government instrumentalities when it comes to security. We should not look at the isolated cases na, let's go back a few years back, na maraming reports na influx of foreign nationals. Meron tayong mga nahuhuling mga foreign national na may hawak na maraming government IDs, fake government IDs. may mga foreign nationals na nakakakuha ng fake birth certificate. May mga tumatakbo sa politiko na mga dubious ang background ang karakter nila. May mga sister city programs tayo. May mga gaming, licensing, internet licensing gaming outlet sa atin. Now, we see these drones in the maritime domain. And then ngayon, may nahuling portionality last year, may nahuli naman this year. So if we try to connect the dots, there seems to be a concerted and deliberate effort to map out or to study the Philippines when it comes to our maritime domain, when it comes to our political system, when it comes to our critical infrastructure, our human terrain. So ito ang mga dapat pagbibigyan natin ng pansin, hindi lamang yung ating gobyerno, but more important, yung taong bayan. Sapagkat this already concerns the entire country.
Yes, Rear Admiral, of course, the Philippine Navy and the Philippine Coast Guard are at the forefront of this issue sa West Philippine Sea. And medyo idudugtong tong mga spies na ito dahil sa growing tension sa West Philippine Sea. Sa part po ng Navy, have you received any reports na may mga attempts to infiltrate yung mga systems and facilities nyo?
Yes, we have already, part naman ito ng bigger effort by the AFP to strengthen our security, not only physical security, but all other aspects of security, document security, communication security, everything, And then this also includes how do we handle the information. Recently, we signed the General Security on the Management of Military Information Act with the U.S. Ibig sabihin, they had to vet us that the way we handle information, sensitive information, is up to a certain standard. So nagpapatuloy ang AFP, ang Philippine Navy, Air Force, and Army to enhance our systems. Nabanggit kahapon sa ating press conference, yung ating Cyber Command, yung ating Intel Command. Not only our systems, but our organization. All of this taken collectively are measures to strengthen the armed forces. And kasama dito ang Philippine Navy.
Alright, patuloy po kami makikipag-ugnayan po sa inyo regarding this issue. But for the meantime, thank you so much for your time, Navy spokesperson Rear Admiral Roy Trinidad.
You're welcome, Angela and Jen. Thank you.
The Second Congressional Commission on Education, or EDCOM2, has called on the Department of Education to amend the implementing rules and regulations of the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013. On Tuesday, EDCOM2 submitted its proposed IRR revisions to DepEd. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, co-chairperson of EDCOM2, said the revised guidelines aim to provide, quote, clear, actionable steps for schools in combating bullying. Enacted in September 2013, the Anti-Bullying Act mandates schools to establish anti-bullying policies, but a shortage of guidance counselors has led to its inconsistent implementation. Data from PISA 2022 revealed that 43% of girls and 53% of boys in the Philippines experience bullying at least a few times a month.
All right.
Okay. Transport groups want a fare increase in traditional jeepneys increased to 15 pesos from the current 13 pesos. This as PUV drivers hope to recoup losses from inflation and unabated fuel price hikes. While the LTFRB acknowledges challenges faced by jeepney operators and drivers, it says the welfare of commuters should also be considered. The agency said they will review the fare hike petition. But for some transport groups, the fare hike, if ever granted, won't be enough.
Sana ibasura ang well-reasoned law at tanggalin yung 12% bat sa langis at excise tax. Sa ganoon, lahat tayo makikinabang. Hindi lang po sa amin, lahat sa bayanan makikinabang. Pag tinanggal po yan, kasi malaking bagay po pag tinanggal yan eh. Lahat ng presyo bababa eh.
Okay. So sinasabi nga ng piston, sana daw aside from itong fare hike na gusto nila is yung tanggalin na yung deregulation ng oil deregulation law.
Oo, para kasi ang napaka-erratic ng prices ng fuel. So kahit siguro kunyari nagtaas ka ng 2 piso, nagsa-spike ang fuel mo 2 pesos, 3 pesos. Pagbababa ang cost ng fuel, bababa ng ilang centavos, tapos magsa-spike ng 2 or 3. So minsan hindi na akma yung tinaas eh. Kasi napaka-erratic talaga ng fuel prices and there has to be a way that medyong makontrol yung prices. Also, sinasite nila yung excise taxes sa fuel. Di ba? Ang laki nun eh. Di ba? Yung train, yung 11, 12 pesos ata sa VAT, e-VAT.
Pero yung nga, tinatanong din yung mga commuters kasi kung okay ba sa kanila kasi sila ang magdadala nito kapag may additional 2 pesos. So sabi naman okay naman kasi nga dahil sa mga inflation ay naiintindihan din naman nila yung mga driver pagdating nga sa pagtaas ng pamasahe. Ito yung mga ibang commuters, hindi naman general. But alright, let's continue. The Sampaguita vendor involved in an altercation with a mall security guard will be summoned by the PNP Civil Security Group to give her side of the story. Now, the PNP SCG explained that this is part of an ongoing preliminary investigation to determine if there is probable cause to file an administrative complaint against a security guard in relation to the viral video. Meanwhile, the security guard has pledged to submit an affidavit before Thursday. He could be held accountable for possible violations of the Private Security Services Industry Act.
Doon sa conduct ng ating preliminary evaluation na mapatunayan, maari pong magmulta, bibigyan ng fine, maaring suspension po ng kanyang lisensya. Pag suspended, hindi siya pwedeng ma-deploy within the period of kanyang suspension.
And this is all part of the investigation naman to get the 2 sides of the story, and then they will come up of certain decision right after this investigation. Pero yun nga, yung iba nagsasabi na, actually na-interview nga sa ibang mga reports itong girl, yung viral Sampaguita girl, and hindi daw niya gusto yung nangyari, and sana nga daw wag mawala ng trabaho itong security guard na ito dahil dun sa nangyari. But at the end of the day, if you can see kasi the video, may violence di ba? Siya yung mas nakakatanda doon in authority. Sana wala nang sakita na nangyari.
Naka-full uniform pala yung girl, no? Shoes and
She's actually 22 years old, a medtech student, and she's scholared from a certain school. And tinanong din siya bakit siya nagsusuot ng ganyang uniform. Yung pala kasi, di ba, I think, if I can remember it correctly, ang News 5, ang news team natin pumunta doon sa supposedly high school na, di ba, nakasuot siya ng uniform doon sa school na yon, and found out na wala namang ganun pa nga na naka-enroll doon. So when they asked her bakit siya naka-uniform, sabi niya wala daw kasi siyang damit.
Pero pati medyas and shoes nandun.
Oo, wala daw siyang damit.
Pero alam mo,
akala ko nga minor, 22 years old na pala.
Moving forward, aside from vetting yung candidates for yung security guards, yung psychoanalysis nila, they also have to take a look at how ano yung mga programs sa mga current security guards with regards to de-stressing sa buhay nila. Minsan kasi kung nagdo-double shift yung mga yan, medyong umiinit na yung ulo, pag puyat, pag dikit-dikit yung shift, tas mababa pa yung sweldo, talagang may stress na nagbe-build up. So we should also find a way to incorporate. Like in other countries, diba, it is mandated na at least every hour, I forget the country, I think it's Germany, that security officers, mga non-law officers, are mandated to have a 15-minute break every 2 hours to relieve himself from post para mag-distress to get a cup of coffee or pumunta ng CR. So we should take a look at that.
But definitely, dahil dun sa statement na nilalabas ng mall, hindi na makakapasok o makakatrabaho yung security guard dun sa certain mall na yon. Ang tanong ngayon, kung halimbawa na-suspend siya tapos makabalik siya sa trabaho, saang mall na lang siya o sa ibang establishment na lang siya ilalagay.
Well, he should go through a process na to determine yung mental state niya. And kung deserving naman, it'll give the person an opportunity to prove himself this time around.
Kasi apparently, this girl, the Sampaguita girl daw pala, was just asking kung pwede siya doon because umuulan, umaambon na. So, pero bawal kasi, ganyan. So, yun na. Kaya lang, at the end of the day, yun nga, may violence kasi nangyari. Kaya hindi maganda.
Violence in any form is never tolerated. Yun, and thank you sa everyone for another day of brunch on Wednesday. Dami natin na pag-usapan. And hopefully, you stick with us until the end of the week. With that, I'd like to leave everyone with a quote that possibly would help your day become a little better. So the quote is from Eleanor Roosevelt, and the quote goes, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." So remember that. At the end of the day, kahit anong sabihin nila about you, it's up to you whether you take it in or not. And that wraps up today's episode of Brunch.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angela Lagunsad Castro. And he is Angelo Castro III. We are One News, all sides, all the time.